So here's the thing. I learned a new word today. Doing a Niksen. Immediately thought of President Nixon, Watergate, for those of you who are old enough to remember that. But no, doing a Nixon has nothing to do with the United States presidential election, which is very topical at the moment with Trump and Biden. Uh, but no, apparently, doing a Nixon is the Dutch word for doing nothing. Didn't realise that. So there's a whole piece given to this on the radio. I'm driving from the north to the south, so I've got a few hours to listen to the radio and the news and catch up on things I'd missed while I was away. But doing a Nixon is doing nothing. And there was a whole piece, as I say, the presenter gave to this word, and this led to a lot of conversations from people ringing in. Hey, my husband's been doing a Nixon since we got married. And I thought, wow, that sounds like a laugh. Which reminded me of Mae West, another person. If you're as old as me, you'll know who these folks are, but if you're not, look it up. Brilliant woman. Came out with some fantastic one lines. And one of them was, yeah, marriages are made in heaven, but so is hailstorm and thunderstorms. But I was sat thinking about this Nixon thing and doing nothing, and I was thinking about how humanity learns and its ability to take on new concepts. But then I kind of felt I had not a revelation, I'm not going all spiritual on you here at this minute, a kind of an epiphany moment, which isn't far away if you're thinking about Christmas, 8 weeks away, if you want to put that on your diary. But I had this kind of moment where I thought, yeah, we are able to learn, and our creativity and our ability to develop and to take on concepts and stuff is huge. But then it was like, but we don't seem to be very good at learning from our mistakes. And here we are in the middle of a pandemic, and there's many reasons people think that uh, came about. Donald Trump's got some interesting views. Um, but another one-liner. I'm a man who loves one-liners. Um, Spike Milligan said this famous one-liner. I told you I was ill. That's on his gravestone. Um, but at the beginning of the show, God just said these words, be good stewards. And it strikes me that we haven't altogether got a handle on that, and we haven't learnt from that. And you might think, oh, you fossil, you guys born in the 50s and 60s, which I was. You want us to return back to those back in the day when it was all great. No, what I'm saying is I don't want to live in the past. Gosh, that was hard work, man. That was difficult and different now. But I'd like us to think about learning from the past and taking into the future something a bit more positive and a bit more solid and a bit more sort of thought through, and not do a Nixon about it, because that strikes me that's going to end us up in climate change. That's going to end us up in goodness knows what. So today I'm just thinking about learning and prompted by the fact the radio producer of the channel I was listening to talked about doing a Nixon. And I thought, humanity just seems to want to know more, yes, but seems to have to have more, and they want it yesterday, they want it instantly, and it doesn't seem that enough is enough. And going back to presidential kind of names and United States presidents, Roosevelt, who was in the 30s, BR, as he was known then, said, was asked a question, and somebody said, "How much money does it take to make you happy?" And he said, just a little bit more. And it strikes me that we're in that sort of almost hamster wheel of life and cycle of life. We just keep going and going, and we're absorbing things, but we're not learning from it, and we're not addressing anything. And in a sense, we're all Nixonites, because who's doing anything? Who's speaking into this? And so I'm just sort of putting this out there for people to respond to, agree with, disagree with. I have a particular perspective I come from, which is Christian, which is we were called to be good stewards of the planet, and I will try and do as much in my power to help that process. And that's what church is about: helping the marginalised, speaking into injustice, speaking for those with no voice and into poverty, and for things that really aren't good. So today, I just think about these things and share these things with you. And in a sense, another line that comes to me, which is, humanity doesn't necessarily seem very happy with itself. It doesn't sit comfortably in silence or alone. The isolation through COVID is I think, going to produce massive issues for mental health. But it says happiness is not having what you want; it's wanting what you have. And we all, and to be honest, look around you. If you're in the West, you've got more than you need. You've got a lot of what others haven't got and might want. Hence these migrants, these immigrants trying to get across. They know what it feels to be in need. And so today, let's not be Nixonites. Let's be, people who make a difference and are the next generation who a new word maybe will be developed, invented for us, who change that situation and the world in which we live. That's what we're called to be, stewards of it. Let's be stewards then, shall we? Take care.